the Prime Minister is the Prime Minister. He's at the table. Ontario is the largest jurisdiction in Canada, and we're be the third largest trading partner in the world if Ontario was a standalone country. So, you know, and I never recommend that. But I have to stand up for what I believe that's going to help Ontario. We have to stimulate the economy. And there's many tools to stimulate the economy, but I've been very vocal on this with the federal government, with people in public. First of all, you have to lower taxes. You have to this is economics 101, folks. You got to put money into people's pockets, and not get taxed to the highest rate of 54% is absolutely ridiculous. We have to reduce our taxes, the federal government, municipalities, and then you stimulate the economy. You put money back into companies' pockets, and by the way, we reduced the cost of doing business by $11 billion each and every year. It was 8, now it's jumped up to $11 billion. And what companies do? They reinvest it into their people, into technology, into infrastructure, into new equipment, and create more jobs. And when I spoke to Vic Fideli, my minister, he said the pipeline is full of companies coming here. That's not including the companies that are investing here in Ontario and expanding and hiring. But we have to create those conditions. We have to get the governor of the Bank of Canada to lower those damn interest rates from 2.75, knock them down, build confidence. Let's work together on getting rid of the HST on home buyers, and not just first ones. Let's stimulate the market. And we'll follow suit if the federal government does that.
Are you still asking the federal government to increase the counter tariffs to 50% on steel and aluminum? And is that what you're going to discuss or be asking for this afternoon with them in the meeting?
Okay, so let me be very clear. I'm 100% supportive of the Prime Minister and the federal government. And when you sit around at a family dinner table, you discuss all sorts of ideas, and that's what we're going to do. But just in the last 3 months, we've seen the U.S. auto industry face $6.2 billion in tariff-related costs, with most of them projecting significantly higher costs for the year. We're looking at 37,000 manufacturing jobs that have disappeared in the U.S., and factory employment is the lowest it's been in 5 years, which is not a good thing. And you see what happens with President Trump. Someone gives them the wrong job numbers that are accurate job numbers, they get fired. Well, you know, President Trump has to realize it's costing companies billions of dollars. Procter & Gamble cost them $1 billion. You look at Mattel, you look at all the Ford Motor Company and all the auto companies. He said it would create economic growth. He said it would create jobs. I went out there at the same time and said it's going to be a disaster. Tariff on Canada is going to be a tax on Americans. So far, this is what's happened. It's hurting American companies. So they need to shift and start looking at working collaboratively with us, looking at the AmCan fortress, put a ring around America and the U.S. In Canada, have the 2 strongest nations in the world. We could thrive and prosper. He'd rather fight. I don't want to fight. I want to fight with our closest allies and friends. And be very frank, neither do the governors, the senators, the Congress people. They don't want to fight with the closest ally.
I think you said you had a conversation with Secretary Lutnick yesterday, and it was positive. Can you elaborate a little about that? What was positive about it?
Well, you know, we're communicating, and I know Dominic LeBlanc was communicating with him, and that's positive. But I don't get into personal details on phone calls. It was a positive meeting. I'll tell you one thing he said. He really likes Canadians, which is good. And so liking and cutting tariffs are 2 different things.